I'm from Minnesota, just keeping it cool. I'm just keeping my cool. Oh, catchy Dufresne, I'm a nice guy. Come at me wrong, I can be the bad guy. Gotta keep it bomb lady, cause I stay fly. It's gonna be a fun day when we get side. Chilling out, I be gazing at the night sky. In and out, stay connected with no Wi-Fi. Gotta keep some exotic, so I stay high. Gotta hustle every day just to get mine. Bust it, bust it, bust it, bust it. You gotta be your own way, let me see you move. Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. All night and all day, this is what we do. Bust it, bust it, bust it, bust it. You gotta be your own way, let me see you move. Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. All night and all day, this is what we do. You can call me the Minnesota songman. Take a look at my guns, I'm a strong man. Used to do my own dirt as a young man. Now I gotta go to work as a grown man. Got my own groove, now I got my own style. Grew up a Minnesota wild child. Had to ski my own way in the wintertime. Now I ride my own wave in the summertime. Bust it, bust it, bust it, bust it. You gotta be your own way, let me see you move. Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. All night and all day, this is what we do. Bust it, bust it, bust it, bust it. You gotta be your own way, let me see you move. Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. All night and all day, this is what we do. Ain't nobody colder. I'm from Minnesota, just keeping it cool. I'm just keeping my cool. Ain't nobody colder. I'm from Minnesota, just keeping it cool. I'm just keeping my cool. Oh, catchy Dufresne, I'm a nice guy. Come at me wrong, I can be the bad guy. Gotta keep it bomb lady, cause I stay fly. It's gonna be a fun day when we get signed. Chilling out, I be gazing at the night sky. In and out, stay connected with no Wi-Fi. Gotta keep some exotic, so I stay high. Gotta hustle every day just to get mine. Bust it, bust it, bust it, bust it. You gotta be your own way, let me see you move. Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. All night and all day, this is what we do, what we do. Ain't nobody colder. I'm from Minnesota, just keeping it cool. I'm just keeping my cool. Ain't nobody colder. I'm from Minnesota, just keeping it cool. I'm just keeping my cool. Ain't nobody colder. I'm from Minnesota, just keeping cool. I'm just keeping cool. Bust it, bust it, bust it, bust it. You gotta be your own way, let me see you move. Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. All night and all day, this is what we do. Bust it, bust it, bust it, bust it. You gotta be your own wave, let me see you move. Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. All night and all day, this is what we do.
What is going on, everybody, man? Welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Nashville Cavemen podcast. What is going on? I am your host, Damo Unleash, with a very good friend and brother of mine. Go ahead and tell them who you are and what it is that you do.
What up, everybody? You know who I am. We've been doing it for a long time. I am Sky Black. Hey, it's another Tuesday. Thank y'all for having me on the show. Thank y'all for watching the show. Don't forget, I am a pro wrestler and I am a music publisher. So if you see down at the bottom of your screen, tonight, the D-Blink radio show will be on from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. If you have music and you're an independent artist and you want to send it to me, it's sky.black@gmail.com, sky.black@gmail.com. And then once we play your music, I'll stream it on offtoprecords.net. Net stands for network. So you can go on there and network with other artists. And when I'm done, then, Damo will interview you. Damo, I've already talked to a couple of artists. Did any of them ever hit you up about the interview?
I haven't, not right now, unless they did it via email. So I need to check my emails today. But as far as like messages, no, not right now. But I did want to let everybody know that in this contest, we got a male and female contest. So for the males, this is the male So Driven Artist of the Year trophy. And ladies, we got y'all too. Y'all got to have y'all own too. So ladies, here's the female trophy. So Driven Female Artist of the Year. Wanted to let you guys know, first of all, I want to thank everybody that's watching us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Instagram. I did figure out how to do the Instagram. Also,
Yeah.
I want to shout out all my people on Bigo. So right now I am on Bigo Live also.
So you know how to do the Instagram now?
Yep. And let me tell you the funny thing that I found out. So every time you log into Instagram and you want to go on Instagram, there's a key, and there's like a stream key and another key that you gotta every time you go live, you gotta do it. So
what is the stream key?
You gotta find it on your you gotta find it in your on your profile. So you gotta go live, you gotta act like you're going live from your laptop, and it gives you 2 keys.
No, I don't. I might have to try that another time because I have no clue.
Yeah, but I figured it out, and I was like, man, it's a hassle, but it's still a great thing to be able to do. I hope that eventually they add more platforms. I think right now they don't have. I wish Bigo Live. I wish I could go Bigo from my phone to my laptop. That would be pretty cool.
It says username. What is when I log in? I use my email. Do you have a literal username?
It might be your email then, or it may be whatever username you use on the Instagram. So, for example, if you had Sky Black, if that was your username, then it may be that.
Yeah,
mine's is the number 2. Be honest, and so that's mine. But it took me a while to figure it out. I'm gonna have to walk you through it.
Yeah, because it asked me. Yeah, okay. So you need your URL and your stream key.
Yep. And you can only access that. You got to get it from your laptop, copy it, and then put it into, you know how it asks us to edit? It asks us to edit like certain, like the channels. You got to add it on that. And every time you go live, you got to do it. So even if you used it this time and you was able to go live via Instagram,
right.
Next time we do it, you have to go and access that key because it changes all the time.
I mean, how do you find the key? Do you find it under
when
create?
You go live, when you hit that plus, it'll show you the key, the URL, and the key.
Yeah, I'm hitting the plus now, and all it's telling me to is select videos from my laptop. I mean, from my desktop.
Yeah, so and it does that. It's weird. I got to go through and walk through it and do it again and walk you through, because it's complicated. But once you figure it out, like I can show you better than I could tell you.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, okay. Well, I won't worry about it then.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool. And the crazy part, it was telling me that I was live, but it wasn't allowing me to watch the video.
Right.
Which I thought was real weird, man. I'm like, why are y'all doing this to me?
Yeah, because it said when you hit the create button, it lets you know if you want to go live or post something. But when I hit the create button, it only says, it only asks me to drag a video or something. I mean, a picture or something. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like that. It was frustrating.
Gotcha.
At one point, I had to walk away from it, clear my head, come back, and then, But I wish they add more platforms. And if they did, man, it would really benefit them to do so.
Right.
It would definitely. Man, you know what? I got to give you props, man. You caught it. You are the only person that I know that said this. And I said, if I ever bet, I'm gonna ask Sky his opinion on, because you're the only one that said if they don't keep Patrick Mahomes from making the playoffs, because there was one point where it looked like that they may not even have got in the playoffs because
Right.
Kansas City was losing.
Right.
But Denver and them, they couldn't get ahead of them, right?
They couldn't. Now they were LA, Las Vegas, none of them could.
Yeah, it's like they wouldn't take it. And eventually, what ended up happening is he got in, and you said, if he got in, you know what I'm saying, that's it. And a lot of people thought that Lamar and Baltimore was gonna beat them. I did like this, man. To beat a man, you gotta defeat the man. And they didn't defeat the man. Matter of fact, Baltimore should have won that game. They should have won.
I kept telling people I just didn't believe that Lamar Jackson was that guy, and I got a lot of flack for it. And even the people on whatchamacallit now, the Instagram is telling me I'm live, but I don't know how to do it. It says I'm live on Restream now with the Instagram.
Yeah, but you can't see it. That was weird to me. I couldn't see the video, but it was saying I was live. So if it's saying you live, then you're probably live then. But it just, it was weird not being able to see. Because I was able to go on all the other platforms and watch. Actually, I was able to click on them from where it says add channels.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to see myself on Twitch, YouTube, all of them. All of them except for Instagram.
Yeah,
Instagram, man, y'all gotta get y'all stuff together.
Well, maybe they don't. Maybe they just ain't into it. Who knows? Okay, but yeah, you was absolutely right, and I kept telling them, man, if they stop Lamar Jackson from running, which they did, and try to turn him into Tom Brady, which they tried to, he just was not that guy. Did you see some of the throws that he made? You see some of the throws, overthrowing, underthrowing, throwing it too hard till the receivers can't catch it. That interception, I don't know what he saw. He tried to thread the needle between 3 Kansas City defenders. What was you looking at?
Well, the play I think that changed the game was the one where he threw it to Zay Flowers. And right before he broke the play, man, dude punched it out. And then they recovered it in the end zone for a touchback. For that touchback. Right. And when that happened, I was like, oh, they in trouble.
Yeah. Because the Baltimore Ravens defense did a great job. Think about it. Kansas City didn't score a point in the second half.
Yeah, they shut them up.
1 point in the second half. So all they needed was the offense to just score something. And that's what everybody on ESPN and Fox and all he had to do was turn back into Lamar Jackson of the old. But for some reason, he wanted to prove a point that he could be a pocket passer. At that time, throw all that out the window. We need you to do what you do that brought you to the dance. And
I think that's the thing of him he let people get in his head.
Yeah, Damo, either he didn't want to do it or the offensive coordinator was like, this is the plan, we're going to stick with it.
You know what I think happened, Sky?
What's that?
I think that he got, so used to people telling him he's not a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He won't work. That he listened. And I think he hung in that pocket way longer than he should have. Personally, if it was me, I think he should have looked, 1 hitch, 2 hitch, nothing there, take off.
Thank you. Did you see some of those? The offensive line was excellent. Did you see how long he had in the pocket on some of them drop backs? And he was just holding the ball. He wouldn't let it go. He would not let it go because he couldn't make those throws. He can make some throws, but you talking about NFL throw the receiver open type throw. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm telling folks it's not in him. If he has to make that type throw, he's going to hold the ball, and that's when the dude stripped him that one time.
A handful of quarterbacks that I could see if they're healthy in the final 6 or even final 4. Right? Patrick Mahomes, and these are all guys that can extend plays, right?
Right.
Josh Allen is so Mahomes, Allen, Dak Prescott Now I know people give that. I put that on that defense. Dallas defense really let them down. If the defense had played even halfway of what they through the year, Dallas would have went. I can't put that on Dak. They put up 30-something points. If your offense put up 30-something points and your defense give up 40, almost 50, that's on the defense. That is not on Dak. Dak was in a hole before a blink of an eye. And yes, your quarterback on stage. But they could overcome that. The defense had been a lot better. So I put Dak as one of them quarterbacks that he wants to extend play.
Right.
All right. I don't know about Jalen Hurts quite yet. Deshaun Watson is one. Deshaun Watson can use his plays just by using this. But there's not a lot of quarterbacks in the league that you could say capable of doing that. Lamar, he can, but I think Lamar has allowed other coaches and people, critics, to get inside his head.
Yeah, I do too.
That's what I think it come down to, Sky. Critics have gotten into his head.
I do too. I really do. But you know, even if the game is close, man, I've gotten to the point. I just don't bet against Mahomes until you put him out. I just don't bet against him. You know, he's
Joe Montana.
Yeah, he can put the team on his back. Yeah, he can put the team on his back and carry him. So just like game number 2, I said, you know, if the Lions can score 30 points, they'll beat San Francisco. And they were close. They scored 24. But that coach going for those 2 fourth downs, that's what ended their season. Well, part of it. San Francisco is a really good team. But I would have just took the points. That's 6 points off the board. I would have just took especially when you was up 24-10, just take the points. Don't be aggressive. Don't be cute. But sometimes it bites you in the butt.
Yeah, I think, man, this is where I think sometimes, man, there needs to be an assistant coach. Because I think a lot of times, coaches, they think they smarter than they actually are. And right. I get it. People like Detroit use that aggression to get to that point. But at some point, man, you got to have, it's good to have somebody else there to say, hey, we up 2 scores. Mm-hmm. They're the ones that have the pressure is on them, not us.
Correct.
Take points. Because if they go down and all they get is a field goal, then guess what? It go from 17 back to 14.
That's right.
But when you don't take the points, and what did San Francisco do? They went down to score.
That's right.
And then it went from, you know, where it could have been a 10-point lead to 7. And that's a big difference.
Right. And then the next possession, that dude fumbled and San Francisco recovered and then they scored again. So he didn't see that coming. The coach wasn't like, well, Darren, that's going to happen. I'm going to kick the field goal because nobody can predict the future. Right. But in a NFC championship game, because I don't think Detroit's going back next year, you have to say in your mind that this is it. 4th and 3, we're this close. Now, the field goal ain't guaranteed either. You know that, right? It ain't guaranteed. Yeah. But it's more of a probability that you was going to get the 3 points than to convert 4th and 3. Let it go. Like you said, kick the field goal. Kick off, put them down under the 10, and let your defense make them go, because it would have killed a lot of the clock even if they did score. For you to miss that 4th and 3, you just swung the momentum that way.
And that receiver Reynolds for Detroit, he should not have a job next year. That boy missed in a very important game, man. If your job as a receiver and the ball hits you squarely in the hands and you miss, that's your job. If you can't do that, then guess what? I think a team need to just cut you.
Yeah.
Put you on special teams.
Either that or put you back on the practice squad. You know,
there you go.
They trusted you to come out there and then again, I'm not out there. I'm not running the route. There could have been a bad pass or a low pass that the quarterback did. I don't know. I'm not out there. But that safety that missed that interception, If you go miss the interception, smack the ball away.
Right.
Don't ever miss an interception and it bounces off your head or bounces off your hands and stay in the air for the wide receiver to try to recover.
Where he threw it to Brandon Ayuk, and then it hit the Detroit safety, bounced up, and he caught it at the goal line.
Yes.
At the 1 or 2.
As soon as I get myself in a position and I'm thinking I'm going to make the interception, if I get it and I'm thinking, okay, it's out of my hands, I'm not going to make it, I'm going to swing my hands, do something to smack that ball down to the ground. You let it bounce off your head and stay in the air long enough for him to recoup it and catch it. Like, you can tell Detroit ain't never been there before. In a while, excuse me. They ain't never been there in a while. So this is why we saw the Detroit of the old start to pop up, because the little things, the discipline things that San Francisco wasn't doing, Detroit was doing.
Well, here's another thing. Did you see Gardner? I forget his something Gardner, but he's the cornerback for Detroit. Right. Did you see him on the sidelines waving goodbye to the San Francisco fans?
And
this was before they even went up 3 scores.
No, I didn't see that. No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, there's a video. You got to watch it. This dude was up there waving goodbye like the game was over with. And then, man, they end up losing. Man, you know that really got to sting. That's going to last from him. And I agree with you on this, guy. It's hard to emotionally get back. Like, it takes a lot of emotion and poise. And that hunger, it's hard.
This was their time to go to the Super Bowl to beat San Francisco. And again, those little things that has kept Detroit from getting to the playoffs, from having terrible seasons. Because I don't blame this on Goff. I think Goff played a really good game. I'm talking about as a team and as a coaching staff, the little things that a Belichick would not do, a Mike Tomlin would not do, the coaching staff did, and the players did, and that's what cost them the game. Because San Francisco's been there before. So they know what to do and what not to do. But Detroit, it was like, man, we here, we're going to just have fun. No, that's fine. But you still got to play this game, and you made way too many small mistakes.
So who do you got in the Super Bowl, man?
Kansas City. I've said this since the beginning of the season. I don't know if you started this show at the beginning of the season or somewhere.
Yeah, you was at the beginning, yeah.
Well, no, I think we started week 4, week 5.
Yeah, it wasn't the beginning, but it was like the first. It was like September.
Okay,
it was like September, maybe October.
I said it way back in the preseason. I was like, Kansas City. I don't see nobody beating Kansas City. I knew Philadelphia wasn't going back, but I didn't see nobody in the NFC to defeat Kansas City. And even when Kansas City had its ups and downs, Kansas City lost a few games. Right. Hell, we were losing games. And then when Kansas City was winning games, we kept losing games. So nobody in the division was trying to put their neck on Kansas City. Buffalo wasn't trying in the conference. Miami wasn't trying in the conference. Baltimore wasn't trying in the conference. Steelers, nobody stepped up and said, Kansas City lost like 2-3 games this season. We need to win those 2-3 games that they've lost and keep them out of the playoffs. Nobody stepped up. What up, Tony White? How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, that's
nobody stepped up. And then you let Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs get into the playoffs. That's like starting over. Everybody is 0-0. And I was like, it's over. He's going to win back-to-back. He's going to be another Tom Brady, and they're going to be another New England.
Well, you know what? I'm going to take Kansas City, too. And I'm going to tell you, it ain't even Patrick Mahomes the reason why I'm taking him. I'm taking Kansas City because that defense is very, very underrated. They shut Lamar down. I think they pressured him at the right time, and I think it was good, man.
Hey, Tony, wrestling was going great. I don't know if you remember, I broke my wrist November 2022, and I ain't been in the ring in 14 months, but I'll be down at Swag February the 24th to come see the boys. So I hope you're down there so I can say hello to you. Sorry about that, Damo. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was glad I figured something out to be able to put this on the screen. So I think that's pretty cool, man. Um,
Did you
but
did
yeah,
you do this or did it automatically do it itself?
No, I clicked on something chat, and so I was able to click on this, and it showed it up on the screen.
That's dope. I didn't know that. Boy, you learn something new every day. I did not know you could do
every day, man. I'm telling you, Sky, you'll be something new every day. Here go the other one. Look.
Yeah. Shout out to Tony White, man. He's a great dude and a great wrestler, man.
All right, what's going on, Tony? Man, so man, I know a lot of people was mad because they was talking about Taylor Swift. Are you one of the ones that you like, man, I'm sick of seeing Taylor Swift too?
Hold on. Unfortunately, I moved to Oregon. I also haven't been in the ring in around about the same time. Oh, okay, well, congratulations, moved to Oregon. I don't. You have to let me know what's out there because I ain't never been to Oregon or anything. But hey, shouts out to you, my friend. I wish you nothing but the best of luck in 2024. Now, with Taylor Swift, I don't know what everybody's problem is. What is the problem? I feel like so many people are hating. What is wrong with it?
Me, I do too, man. I don't get it. Why people like upset.
I think it's everybody else. Two things: I've never been, Damo, since you met me. I've never been a liar, and I've never been a hater. And if this girl and her record label and her publishing company can get all of this publicity, get it.
Right.
Are we tired of seeing Taylor Swift? We're tired of hearing about it. Okay, but if this was your career, if this was an artist in Tennessee that was looking to get on, you think they would hate? You would think they would hate it? No, they would love all this attention. So since it's Taylor Swift, then everybody's hating on this girl, and I'm thinking, no, man, Taylor, do you? I don't care if they show you every 30 seconds.
She's likable. I don't know, like people just don't. Man, it just show you, man. People just got some real. I don't know what's in people's hearts, but Taylor Swift to me, I'm not a Swiftie or nothing. I don't get into none of that. But I think she's a cool person. She's not arrogant. You don't see any, a narcissist or anything about her to just, well, hey man, this is somebody that, she a good, cool person. Very down to earth when I see her.
Thank you. I mean, you don't hear people say I'm tired of seeing Alabama every year in these darn national championships. You ain't tired of Nick Saban. You ain't tired.
But they ain't got to worry about that no more because Alabama ain't gonna be there no more. It's over Alabama.
I don't hear people say they're tired of LeBron James, are they? They're not tired of Steph Curry. They're not tired of all these other people. And she's not doing nothing but supporting her boyfriend. She ain't once told Fox, CBS, none of them to put the camera on her. They're doing that on their own because they want her Swiftie fans to come join this product. That's it.
Right. And I remember people were saying their relationship was fake, and I'm like, what's the truth?
Who's ain't in Hollywood?
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Who ain't in Hollywood?
All they doing is trading. They trading each other out like baseball cards in Hollywood.
It. That is it. But at the end of the day, they can pay their bills, take care of their families. So I don't know. It's just, it was like the time can't think of that girl's name. What's the girl? That's So Raven Simone, right?
Oh yeah.
You remember what she said a couple of years ago that if she was running a business, she wouldn't have any of these girls like Laquita and Krishanda and all this stuff running her business because of the names. And they jumped on her. And I'm thinking, what are you jumping on? I'm from the 80s. That is absolutely true. If you went into Green Hills Mall to buy a Tommy Hilfiger or Prada, if there was a black woman, her name was Catherine, it was Joy, it was Kimberly. She looked like a white person. She dressed like a white person. There was no hood people. Even right now in Cool Springs Mall, there are no hood people selling high item tickets because that's not what the customer wants to see. And if you want to see hood people, go to the Dollar Tree. Go, that's what you want to see. But she was just telling the truth, and they all jumped on her like crazy.
Yeah, and I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, be entitled to that.
Yeah.
she should be entitled to feel like that. And I don't blame her, because perception is everything. People think it's not.
Right.
People get online and they do and they say stuff and they say, well, I'm just doing it. I'm just doing it for entertainment.
Right.
No, perception is everything. The way that somebody perceive you, that it is what it is. And so if you get a certain perception about yourself from other people, because it's a difference in the way that we see ourselves and the world sees. Totally different. And people don't keep that in mind. But it's a big difference.
Yes. It really is. And so the NFL, Taylor Swift, all they see is these dollar signs because she's performing. Is it in Japan somewhere?
Yeah, she is.
Right before the Super Bowl, and they're going to, the bet MGMs and all that old stuff. They're betting to see if she can make it back before the Super Bowl starts. That's an actual bet that you can bet.
That is crazy, and she is. She's going to make it back because they saying that she'll be back when she come back. It'll be Saturday,
right?
And so,
this is publicity. Her record label couldn't even pay for if they wanted to.
Right.
All of this is just free advertisement. That's it for her.
And the crazy part about it all is?
What's that?
I'm thinking about it like she's going to Japan. Is it that many people over there that speak the English language? Because let me tell you what I found out. Mm-hmm. Since I've been on this other app, again, shout out to everybody on Bigo. But since I've been on Bigo and I've got to look at other cultures, they listen to our music.
Yep.
And they, you can tell that their English isn't great, but they still play American, about up to date. I ain't talking about Michael Jackson, old stuff like that. Right. Lionel Richie and all that. I'm talking about they playing up to date stuff.
Yes. Oh yeah. American culture touches a lot of places in the world, but Japanese, if you go over there, China, if you go over there, there's certain parts that look American. I mean, they dress American, even if they don't speak all of our English. But yeah, so there's a lot of artists that go overseas if they're not making a lot of money here, and they tour over there and make their money. Same thing with wrestlers. Overseas wrestling is huge. Y'all don't know how huge wrestling is overseas. So when you don't see your favorite wrestler here on WWE, AEW, ROH, whatever, Impact, because they're overseas making a lot of money.
Man, and you know what? Actually, I think wrestling is bigger over there than over here. Because not only do they have regular wrestling, they got sumo wrestling.
Yeah. Overseas, and then depending on where you live and where you're going, it's a lot cheaper than America. A lot of wrestlers, when they go to Japan and wrestle, if they get paid $300,000 compared to getting paid $300,000 here, you living like a king and queen in Japan. Or you take that same $300,000 to go to a certain place in Africa, then you living like an emperor. You know what I'm saying? So the conversion of the money and the taxes and the cost of living is so much cheaper.
Thailand.
It's a difference.
Let me tell y'all, it's like in Thailand. You take 20 to 30,000 over to Thailand, you're basically a millionaire.
Yeah.
You're basically a millionaire. Y'all hear me? Every day I tell you, man, y'all better be glad I'm off the market. Because I'm telling y'all right now, if I wasn't, I'd be in Thailand right now. I am not BSing. I would take me a good 2 to 5 years, and my butt would be over in Thailand, eating fresh fruit, living in an apartment, and and just doing whatever I want to do every day.
That's absolutely correct.
America is you can have 2-3 jobs and not.
Ain't that crazy?
Stay over here.
Ain't that crazy? They talking about the homeless percentage is up, unemployment is going up, people cars getting repoed is going up. Like it's crazy over here. Yeah.
Man, let me tell you, Sky, they did on News Channel 2. They were talking about the average median household income for a household, two people in Nashville,
Right.
$75,000 to $78,000 a year,
Mm-hmm.
right? Guess how much the houses are?
Like 400,000.
400,000. You got
Mhm.
so they basically were saying, in order for you to be able to qualify for a house here, you have to be making at least over $100,000. That's two of y'all combined,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And you both have to have A1 credit.
Correct.
Because if you ain't got credit, the interest rates are going to be so high, it's going to outprice you to qualify for a house. And they were saying that first-time home buyers, they can maybe get help with a down payment as far as like a program.
Right.
But, you know what I'm saying? Like, with the interest rates as high as they are, you're only going to be able to cut with so much.
That is absolutely correct. You're right. So here in Tennessee, to live comfortably, you need to make anywhere from 80 to 90,000 a year to live
Yep.
a comfortable life. If you have two people in a household or an apartment, income together only makes 75, that goes to show you there's a problem. If two people, two adults, is not making over 90, something that means you need a third person in the house to get. So that means now you need at least three people in a household to survive.
That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah. So if you're an introvert, you better come up out of that shell, because unless you doing something online where you making a lot of money off of YouTube or something, you gonna have to get you a roommate.
Man, in this next generation, y'all, they got siblings. Y'all better make it right with y'all siblings.
Yep.
Get together with them and work with them, because what's going to happen is things aren't going to go down. It may go down a little bit, but me and you have been on this earth long enough to know that when a price hit a certain level, it's going to stay. It's not going to dip much lower than that.
That's
Gas,
right.
for example, gas will go down
in the
a couple
market.
pennies, but it ain't never going to go to no dollar again.
Nope. The days of the Dollar Tree is over. Everything's $1.25 and up now.
Yeah.
No more 99-cent anything anymore. You know what I'm saying? So those days is over. And if
They
you
said
are
the
fortunate,
McDonald's fries is expensive.
yeah,
You know, when McDonald's fries is expensive, you know we in trouble.
it is very expensive. So those who live in housing that's been there for a while, let's say you've been in your apartment or your studio apartment for 8 or 9 years, and you're used to paying the $500, $600, $700 a month, they're going to eventually get to the market. If the market for a one bedroom is $1,100, and right now you're paying $7 something, over the next 2-3 years, they're going to get there. They're going to go there. So right now, start saving your money so you can leave there or buy something different or whatever you want to do in life. See, you have those that I call grandfathered in that has a fixed rate of 4.9 and under, or that has been in their apartment so long they're still paying that cheap rent. You have time to get yourself together. New people, like maybe your daughter's Damo, they're done, because they're going to walk in at $1,100, $1,300, $1,400, shit, maybe $2,000, depending on where they live in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I understand why you telling them, hey, stay at home a little bit longer, because here is much cheaper. Save your money, and then when y'all get y'all money together, go out into this world.
Right. I just tell them, stay home and buy land while you at home. That way, you know what I'm saying, when you do go to apply for a loan, then guess what, man? You got collateral.
You got collateral.
You got good credit and you got collateral. And then the two things that going out here, you better have. You better have good credit and collateral.
Good credit and
good
collateral.
luck getting the house.
And so for those people who bought homes maybe back in 2008 to now, if you paid your monthly on time and you got some equity in the household, I would take that equity out and do what he just said. Start your business, buy some land, buy some gold. I don't care if you refi cash out, if you HELOC, because money, the equity in the house ain't gonna do nothing when you're dead. And if you don't teach your children and grandchildren about equity, then it's dead money. But if you can pull $100,000 out your house right now, then you need to pull it out and put it in something that is going to continuously draw you money and your family money and do generational wealth. See, a lot of people that rent homes. I'm talking about those that have a mortgage that's been in there about 10 years. Now is the time to do it.
Yep. Because that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Like I said, man, you know, I wouldn't even mind going ahead at some point and refinancing.
Yeah, either that or just get another lien on your home, because you can go to a bank, a credit union, and say, hey, I want to do a HELOC, which means you're going to just use your house as collateral. Well, they're going to check your income. You and your wife, y'all got good income. Y'all got good credit together. So right now, a credit union might loan you $100,000 at 2.9% because you use your house as collateral. Now, if you never touch the money, you don't owe nothing.
Right.
But the day you want to spend that 100, let's say you want to spend 30,000 of it on purchasing you some land, then that's worth doing. I would spend 30 of it, buy me some land and some auction land. Go to an auction where they auctioning this land, buy you this land, over time pay it off, because something's coming. A McDonald's or Crystals or Amazon, something is going to come eventually and going to want that land for something.
And something else that'd be smart too is to take that money out and put it in the IRA and don't even spend it at all. Just make money off the interest.
That's right. A money marketing account, whatever you want to do, because a good money marketing account is like at 5%. So you're hedging inflation. Inflation is like 2 to 4% a year. So your money sitting in an IRA or 401k and you're getting 5 to 11%, because there's people on Robinhood that's getting 11% return. Hell, I'm on Acorn and I'm getting 9% return on Acorn. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
if you take your money and do that, that is awesome too.
Oh man, 9%?
Yeah.
Man, I need to get with you off air, brother.
Huh?
I need to get with you off air.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what you do, you know. But a lot of people are scared because they don't know how to do it. And your friend, what was his name, Chris? That's who they need to get with. Because if I give you a briefcase of $100,000 right now and you know what to do with it, you're gonna blow it. Then they're gonna come take your house because you can't pay them back. So you need to know money moves and know what you're doing. Get with a CPA, get with some people that know what they're doing. That way, when you pull this HELOC and you use it, you're not panicking. You know what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you careless with money, you know, it is what it is.
You got that right, man. I know I wanted to get into this. I don't know if you've seen this story, dude. This was the most bizarre story I ever heard. But in California, this woman, hold on, let me go ahead. I got to take my shades off to read this. Because I was like, I ain't never heard no mess like this. But basically, this woman stabs her boyfriend, right?
Right.
She stabbed him 108 times. And you know what she got? All she got was 2 years probation and community service.
Hold on, he's still alive? 108 times?
No, not 108 times. Nobody. If he's still alive after being stabbed 108 times, then that is a miracle. No, she killed this dude, right? They said that when they arrived on scene, still stabbing him. And they had to literally take one of them batons and hit her a couple times on the arm to break her arm to get her to stop.
So she killed the man. She killed the man that only got 2 years probation?
Only got 2 years probation. Let me read this story right quick, y'all. I'm dragging this down and reading this. All right? Because I'm like, this is only in California. So let's go on up. A California woman was facing up to 4 years in prison for fatally stabbing her boyfriend more than 100 times during a drug-induced psychotic episode in 2018. Was instead sentenced this week to 2 years probation and 100 hours of community service. Last December, This woman, 32 years old, was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter and the killing of her boyfriend, who was 26, right?
Right.
They reported from the courtroom she had been facing a possible 4-year prison term ahead of her Tuesday sentence. So 4 years, that's all that she was looking at initially facing.
Right.
For stabbing somebody 100 times, more than 100 times. In May 2018, prosecutors said she fatally stabbed the dude, an accountant, inside his Thousand Oaks, California apartment, approximately 108 times after the couple had smoked marijuana together. She also repeatedly stabbed herself.
There must have been something else in that marijuana, right?
Man.
What other drugs were they doing to for that to happen? I thought maybe it was a case of he was abusing her for years and she just finally snapped. But yeah, if what is it called? I can't think of the name because people gonna hear me tell me that I'm lying. But you know how some people can plead insanity. But if you are abusing somebody, especially like a woman over time, and she snaps, she might only get 5 or 6 years for capital murder or something like that because you have pushed her to the point where she's out of her mind. This what you're reading. I don't know if there was something mixed with the cocaine laced with it, or were they doing other drugs, and it put her out of her mind to where. And who knows, he was probably like that, right? You know, there's some people that when they have sex, they like to be cut on. So maybe they was in a sexual act and she was cutting on them and then it just went left.
Here's where it's more to this. According to the Ventura County Star, police officers who responded to the scene said they found her in a pool of blood holding a knife. They reportedly had to use a taser device and a baton to disarm her and take her into custody. During the trial, medical experts testified that her behavior was the result of a cannabis-induced psychosis. According to the National Library of Medicine, a diagnosis of a disorder is given when hallucinations or delusions materialize shortly after consuming cannabis. So they're not even saying cannabis was even laced with anything. They're saying that she just basically got so high that she started hallucinating, you know what I'm saying, and just went nuts.
Well, how much THC did she intake, one, and what did she do to, who was she seeing? Because damn, she's out of her mind. Maybe she was seeing an ex-boyfriend beat her up. Maybe her stepdad beat her up. And she saw something else instead of this accountant dude. And she just got to stab him.
But you know the crazy part about this? Is that this was alcohol. No way would they make this stuff stick. Could you imagine if a person drunk too much? Man, people getting drunk driving all the time. Right? So it's like, what I'm trying to understand is how do they move the needle? If I was to go and drink and I was to drink way past the legal, and then I drive out here and I kill somebody, my life over with.
Correct.
So how isn't the same rules applying to marijuana?
That's a good question. That I can't answer. I wish I could answer that for you. I do not know. I just feel sorry for the guy that lost his life. Kind of feel sorry for the woman because I don't know if that was her first time doing marijuana or whatever. But I feel bad for all parties and their families. That's something that might have could have been avoided.
Right.
But if a woman is stabbing you 108 times, that's usually to me a passion crime or something emotionally to just snap and he was just there for her to take it out on, you know.
Man, she must have been in a trance because man, when you stab somebody, she probably stabbed that boy so much that she just left out a room to do anything else to him. So she starts stabbing herself, and you know it's bad when the police got to tase you over and over, and they got to use a baton just to get you to stop. That's nuts. Ain't no way, man.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the point that me and Mr. Damo's trying to make. You be careful what you take. You know, I'm from the hood. If you don't see them roll that blunt, you don't smoke it. If you don't see somebody pour that glass, you don't drink it. You know and
you also got to know your limits. Like,
and also know your limits too. You know,
no matter what you do, you got to know your limits.
Yeah, know your limits. Don't mix anything. Don't mix drugs and don't mix alcohol. Don't be drinking tequila and vodka together. Like, don't do none of that stuff. Because everything you do, first thing that happens is we are more cells, water, and chemicals than we are flesh. I just want people to know that. So even me blinking my eyes, whatever we do is always something chemical going on in your body. So something gets in your body that causes you to have an unnatural chemical reaction, then I could see you just being in a place that you've never done a day in your life. Because she's probably in jail right now or in a holding cell thinking, I didn't do that. That wasn't me. Who does that?
Well, she at home chilling.
Now, when she at home chilling, thinking, there's no way I would ever in my life stab somebody 108 times. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, and if the accountant even thought that this woman was somebody who would stab him 108 times, he would have never brought her over.
Man, that's crazy stuff, man.
That's crazy. So that's the point, man. You gotta be careful. You just gotta be careful.
And something else I want to talk about, because I was like, man, you know what? And me and Kobe, man, we might gonna take this discussion and drag it over to tomorrow. But we were talking about, I was watching, you know how a lot of social media platforms have these short videos, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching this short video of this female that basically came up with a cheer about child support. And she was really happy and celebrating child support and bragging about it. And you know what I think they need to do?
What's that?
This is long overdue. And I don't know on all 9 of these platforms, I don't know if anybody in any position of power, especially politically, if y'all watch. But if y'all come across this even, here's what I think that we need to do. I think we need to go, and this is already taking place in Delaware. I think we need to have child support cards. You know how they load money onto EBT cards?
Mm-hmm.
I think when men or women pay child support, it should be automatically loaded onto the card.
Right.
Now, with that card, there should be, just like with EBT, there's a limitation of what you can actually do with that, right? I think with this card, it should be the same thing. For example, the kids' haircuts should be covered by this card. The kids' school clothes should be covered by this card. If the kids are going on a field trip, there are card readers where you can do transactions, right?
No.
Get a receipt. You don't even need a receipt. It'll show who charged the card, right?
Right.
I think that the card should be able to be used in certain instances, but not you going to go get your wig done. Not you going to go get a $300-400 hairdo at a beautician. Are you going to get your nails done and your feet done?
Right.
Or are you going out to go and being able to just go get drinks with this card? No. I think this card should only be able to be used in certain places. And I think that would be good because it would show where the money's actually going, right? And it'd be used for the right thing. And they'd be able to keep track of what's going on.
I agree. I mean, I think I do know some people that have that. Has like a debit card that the money goes on to or whatever. So you're right, they could do that. And if it was me, if I'm paying the child support, I want to have access to the same thing she has. So I want a username and password to log in. She has a username and password to log in, her own. And that way, anytime I want to look, I can see how many times you swipe that card and what you bought.
You know what I think they should do? I think I'm even better than that. You know what I think they should do, Scott?
Mm-hmm.
I think every month, because the man is paying for child support, he should be able to get receipts on where it's going. And I don't think that he should be able to go and talk to her about anything. I think it should stay between whatever social worker that's dealing with it, that's handling the case.
Right.
So I think from the Department of Child Services or wherever that money is going to, I think they need to get that man a receipt. And I think more men will be more inclined to pay. Let me go ahead and put this on pause. All right, there we go. More men will be more motivated to pay child support.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, well, in my situation, there's only two type of men. There's going to take care of their kids regardless, and theirs is not going to take care of their kids regardless. So, if you set up this system, the ones that are going to take care of their kids might not even need the system unless they're going overseas, they're going into the military, some. But those who's never is in their mind, they're never going to take care of their kids.
They never going to take care of them regardless.
So, Yeah, but I do like what you're saying. Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, and I think because I think it's too much of an incentive. Like, who celebrates? There was a female talking about that women need. She said this. She said women need to have kids by multiple men. And she said the reason being is because they can only get so much child support per man. So it's more beneficial to have multiple baby fathers. That means multiple men would be, you could go for a certain amount and it'll cover everything. And I was like, whoa. She really had this broke down in her head.
Okay, yeah. So now child support is a corporation. So now you can use your vagina and your babies for multiple streams of income. So if I got 7 kids and 7 streams of income, that's fine. But this is just me personally. Sky Black 101. There's not enough money in the world for me to raise 7 kids. I'm just sorry. It's just not.
Man.
I don't. Money comes and goes, but you talking about 18 years of 7 children? No, I couldn't do it. You couldn't pay me enough. I'm sorry,
man.
So if you want to use that,
but Sky, some of them dudes, like you said, they have no intention of ever paying child support, so they don't care.
So some of them you might get, some you might not. Some you might get now, some might be in their 50s and 60s paying you arrears out of their Social Security. I mean, it's a gamble, but what is consistent is you still got to take care of these kids, whether they child support comes every month or not.
Yep.
So, but if you love kids, then, it might be a whole different story. But,
And you know what? I think that, it need to be traced for child services. Because if you're going to go ahead and you're going to get into family's business, then I think that they need to know where that money is going. I don't think it's just about the father of the child. I think the system need to know where that, like if you go over to, you go and you see that kid at the school or at their house, and for example, that the mother of that child is getting so much money, right? Getting so much money as far as child support. And then you see the kid, and the kid is in rundown clothes, and the hygiene is bad and everything. Then they need to be able to, at some point, be able to say, okay, this is what you're getting. Where is this money gone? If it's not going toward the well-being of the kid.
I agree. I agree. And you know what? I think some systems, some cities, some counties, some states have tried, but then it's getting to the point where you just can't keep up with everybody. If you don't drop a dime on somebody, it's kind of hard for them to keep up with everybody trying to do that.
Right.
So, I mean, no matter what system you put in or software or however, there's going to be somebody smart enough to try to cheat the system. It always, no matter what you do, there's always going to be so nothing's going to be 100%. I see what you're saying. You know, somebody's going to get away with it.
They need to make it. Basically, I guess what I'm saying is they need to get to a point where they're making it much tougher.
Right.
They're making it harder for people to cheat the system. Because you're right. I mean, it's just some real smart, brilliant people out here that can manipulate the system whenever they want to. So I get it. They need to make it harder, and they need to make it where it's not as much of an incentive just to have kids, man, for financial gain.
That's right. That's right. But that's what a lot of women are doing. They're trying to catch these athletes and these superstars and these up-and-coming rappers and hey, that's my ticket. That's my ticket right here. Had this baby, and the only person suffers is the children. That's it.
Man, I don't even think they even looking for athletes. So now this thing, a lot of them looking for a man, period, to do. Man, a lot of these females so aggressive, man. I ain't used to this. You know what I'm saying? Like the aggressiveness of these females nowadays. Shoot.
Well, let me ask you this thing, because I'll be online and I'll be watching like Country Wayne skits, and there's this one guy named Mike Bless. His son is 18, and he didn't know. The woman that he slept with back in high school 18 years ago never told him, right? So now he's found out 18 years later that he has a son, and now they want to go after him for $120,000 in back child support. Is that fair? Because here in Tennessee, I'm gonna tell you, because I've been on both sides, been on, been off. The judges back then basically told you that they didn't give a damn if you knew or didn't. You stuck your stick in the pie, you should have found out on your own. So even if it's 10, 12 years later, and you come out and didn't know, boom, you still got to pay. But
here's the question.
If you didn't know, and she never told you, and she went one way, you went another, and 18 years later, y'all just happened to meet each other at a cafe one day and got to talking, and she decided to confess that the man she's married to is not his, it's yours. Do you think it's fair to come after you for all those years that you didn't know?
I would say this. Even if they was I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Right.
If the money did go to, they said, well, you know what, you got to pay this money back. It shouldn't go to her. You know who I think the money should go to?
Who's that?
The son.
Okay.
I don't think it should go to the mama. I think it should go to the kid. Because the kid is who he's really, the money is supposed to be for anyway, right?
Right.
So if he got to pay it back, if he absolutely, they saying, no, you need to pay it back. It need to go to the boy. It don't need to go to the mom.
But here's the thing. If that's the case, then I would go to a Sin credit union, right? I would set up an account, and I would just put the money in his account every month. What's up, AK? I would put the money in his account every month. Why would I go through the child support system? I'm like, well, Judge, if you tell me I owe him $120,000 on a child that I didn't know after 18 years, then let me do it myself. I don't need y'all. So you're right. Why should the money go to her and then hope that it go to the 18-year-old child?
Right. And you know, here's the other thing. And I seen a panel of women argue against this. And I am, you know what, I'm for this. I think soon as a kid is born, that they need a DNA test right away. I think you shouldn't be able to get no government assistance until you prove who the father of that child is. And if you do, then you can't get child support from any man until it's proven. Let me backtrack, because assistance is for the kid. It's not just for the mom, it's for the kid. Right. And the kid should never be denied. But with that said, I don't think that no man should have to pay child support until it's absolutely a DNA test proven that he is the father.
Correct.
Now, with that, there's a lot of female. I watched a panel of women argue, and they were talking about how they don't feel like it should come out of the community's pocket, meaning that, you know, man, the people shouldn't pay for it, but we do anyway.
Right.
We pay for people's kids anyway. You know, when the father don't step in and then you get any government assistance help, guess what? The community is paying. So if the community got to pay anyway, why not just pay for the DNA test and get that out the way?
True. Question: why should the child get it, especially if he don't have a bond with the child? That could be a good question too, because here's the thing: 18 years went by and I didn't have a clue. It ain't like we talked on and off for 18 years. 18 years went by. You never said a word. So that means you've been lying to your husband this whole time too, right?
Oh, she was, and oh, so you were saying,
right. And so you and your husband get into it one day. You run into me the same day you and your husband get into it, and then you gonna tell me, well, hey, I think he might have been yours. And I'm thinking, why wouldn't you say something 18 years ago or 10 years ago or 7 years ago? Why would you wait?
Tell you how.
Right. And then you tell your husband it's mine. We take a DNA test, it's mine. Now you and the husband are saying you owe us $120,000 in back child support. Is that fair when you did not have a clue? You've never seen the woman or the child prior to those 18 years.
Here's the thing, Scotty. I'm about to put y'all on game. Oh, this is turning into a hell of a conversation now. Let me put y'all on some game. Here's what happens a lot of time, and I can see how this stuff happens. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Dudes, a female will be in a relationship, and she'll have sex with she'll go ahead and have sex with a dude, break up with him, less than not even 2 weeks later, with a whole nother dude dating him, and then already, before she even really get to know him, already sexually active with him.
Right.
Think how quick people are sexually active. So she might have been pregnant by him and didn't know she was pregnant, and then didn't show up till about anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks later. And here
right.
she thinks it's the new dudes, because now she been screwing him,
right.
and she didn't have sex with him the last 5-6 times. And here it is. They thinking they got a child on the way. Whole time she had a kid with the ex-boyfriend, but because she jumped from one sexual relationship to the next sexual relationship, right. She's under the impression that because I've had sex 4 to 6 times with this man, right? Or for the last 2 weeks, that it's this man's child.
Right.
And I think that's what happens a lot of times.
And
Natalie, you're right. It's a whole lot. But when you think about it, think about how fast people jump from one sexual relationship to the next. They don't even wait. Some people don't even wait for relationships. They'll go from one relationship a couple days later into something totally different.
You're right, Natalie. Shouts out to Natalie. How you doing? AK, I'm understanding what you're saying, but it's just I'm at the point where, okay, so you're with my friend, right? You break up with my friend, me and you have sex, then you go back to my friend, y'all get married, this child is born, you, the child, and my friend has moved to California. I'm still in Tennessee. 18 years later, y'all come back to Tennessee, right? You get into an argument, you happen to run into me and say, hey, I think this child might have been yours. And so we take the DNA test, the child is mine. Should I have to pay y'all $120,000 in back child support from a child that I had no clue? And so it is on the woman mainly because she never told her husband that for the 2 weeks that they were separated, right? That she went out somewhere else. So now you got to break the news that you cheated on him even before y'all got married, but y'all were still together or separated. And then you got to tell the 18-year-old boy that the guy that raised you is not your biological father. So even outside of the money, it's a lot more to it. But when you have people paying stuff like that, that's to me what makes the child support system so hard, because you have people, that's a lot of variables. Let's put it that way.
Man, that's why I think DNA tests need to be mandatory. That's why DNA tests need to be mandatory, man. I don't even care if you're married. People say, well, nah, if you married. No, because that's when you think it won't happen. Whoever really sit back thinking, man, my wife out here, the milkman came by, the cable guy came by and laid more than cable.
You're absolutely correct. So how many marriages would end in divorce while she's laying on the table with her legs open? She's on the table with her legs open. She pushes this baby out. A couple of hours later, they do the DNA test because they don't allow the woman to go home until she has a bowel movement. She's still in the hospital room. They do a DNA test and say, sir, this is not your child. So then you got to go back up there after your wife just had a baby and say, hey, I found out this ain't my child, so you've been cheating. Do you know what type of security and what type of stuff you would have to have in those rooms? I forgot what the name of they call when she has the baby, but in those situations,
the maternity,
you have to have a divorce right there ASAP because he's gonna leave. That's why they don't want to do it.
And they know. You know why I think they don't want to do it? I'm gonna tell you why I think they don't want to do it. I think they don't want to do it because they know a majority of these females, man, it will be, I think it would be 50-50. If they did DNA tests, I bet you that it would be 50% of these cases where the presumed father is not the father at all.
Hey man, even if they're not married, right? Even if they're not married, even if you just boyfriend and girlfriend and you just happen to get your baby mama pregnant, you was absolutely correct. If you had to have a DNA test as soon, well, not as soon, but maybe a few hours later when that child is born, you was absolutely correct. I might say 75%.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked because most people got multiple, and that's the thing, Sky. Most people, man, people think this is far-fetched, but most people have multiple partners. Yeah. Some people are out here 20 years old with over 20 partners. To me, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You 20 years old and you done had 20 partners. That means you done screw somebody new every year. Bruh. And you know the bizarre part about that? Most people don't start having sex until they 14, 15, 16 by majority. So if you 20 with 20 partners and didn't become sexually active until you was 15 or 16, imagine on average how many people you've been screwing a year. That's nuts.
That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And yes, AK, I know your story. Me and you, we've been knowing each other forever. So yeah, you already know I know what's going on in your situation. But yeah, you was absolutely right. And so if I'm the woman and I had to choose, I'm going to choose the guy who has a little money and has goals in life. I ain't gonna say, well, this is the father and he ain't, he sits under a tree every day and drink beer. I'm not gonna choose him. And he might be the father. And that might have been
You know what I think they need to do? Here's something else I think they need to do. And since y'all working on all this scientific stuff, can y'all come up with a way with these dudes that can't quit going around and having kids with all these women? After their second kid, can y'all create something that make it where they can't have babies?
A vasectomy? Is that what you want to have?
Yeah, like a shot. Come up with a shot that they can't have kids for, if they have 2 kids and they've been paying child support for them 2 kids, that they got to come in and then they got to get a specific shot every couple years that prevent them from having kids. And they do it for the women too. They need to do it for the women too. Because, ladies, I don't get a lot of y'all, right?
Right.
And I get it. Sex is great. Sex is amazing. But it ain't amazing enough to where after the first time I have a kid and this lazy bum don't want to pay child support, then I'm going to let anybody else come up and juice up in.
Right. Well, that America could try that, but they won't because America is against communism, right? And the number one communist country is China. And China has a rule about kids. China has so many people that you can only have 2 kids per household. You will go to jail. And if y'all don't believe me, look this up. China
I think we need to go China's route.
Kids you can have because they're so overpopulated. If you go over 2 kids per household, you could go to jail. Imagine it. So I don't see America doing that, man. I don't see them giving you shots or nothing like that because they would.
I don't know why America can't.
And they would say it's against their will and their freedom because America's supposed to be the free and the home of the brave. So your alienated right, you're supposed to be able to eat, sleep, poop, and repopulate without the government being in your way.
Here's the bizarre part about that, and this is why this stuff needs to get thrown. In America, we are the biggest hypocrites in the world. Y'all force these mandates on us, not even the last couple of years, on us that we can't go to work if we don't get this shot and all this. Y'all threw all that out the window. So we already communists anyway. We just stepped into communism. You know what I'm saying? So, man, could we go all the way? Could we quit letting people have kids that don't deserve to have kids? If you have kids and you can have one or two of them, and you know you can't afford them one or two, especially men and women, if they make it to where y'all can't have kids no more, please, government, make it to where then we ain't got to complain about where our tax money goes. Because it should always take care of kids. But it shouldn't.
Think about it. What you saying might have happened in this COVID shot. We don't know what's in it. So how you know that when you took the COVID shot, it's to also help people to stop populating the world too?
I believe it did. And I'm gonna tell you why I do believe it did. Because man, if you're a diabetic, you can't go get insulin free. Anytime the government tell you they giving you any medicine free, man, hell. Anytime the government telling you they giving you anything free, I'm not taking it because something comes with it. Anybody give you anything. This ain't even a government thing. When somebody's giving you something free, you got to figure out what it is that comes with that.
That's right. That's absolutely right. There's always strings attached with something. So trust me, on your end, there's a lot of people that think like you. There's a lot of people in this world who wasn't born to be parents, and it's okay. And they don't need kids, and they don't even bring kids because they're gonna turn up in the system, adoption, foster care, or they're gonna be in these streets, right? There's a lot of people that think that way. And maybe somewhere down the line, the government was thinking, oh, yes, with this COVID, we can put this stuff in this COVID. But then what committee is going to say who's fit to be a mom and who ain't fit to be a mom? Because Angelina Jolie, right, and Nick Cannon, they can take care of their kids. They got 10 of them. Financially, they can take care of their kids. Now, emotionally, maybe not, because there's a lot of damn kids, at one time. But financially, they can. So what committee will sit there and say, hey, you're a great mom, you're a great dad, you don't need no more kids, and vice versa?
I think it should all be based on, and not just finances. Mm-hmm. Because at some point, if you're dealing with, DCS or child services coming to your house often and it's showing that you're unfit, then that's a criteria for them to say, you know what, this person don't need to have no kids, no more. Right. But I think if you're financially, you will have kids. Kids make you poor. You don't have kids and then all of a sudden you just feel like you're going to have more money. Right. Kids make you have less money than you actually already have. So if you broke already and you have to depend on the government for a longer than short extended time, then you shouldn't be able to have no more kids. You can't take care of them. You can't financially take care of them. You should have them. And they should come up with something. Y'all came up with the medicine for everything else. You know what I'm saying? They talk about a chip now that they didn't create it. They can put in people's brain to help them with paralysis. They're working on that. So eventually people who are paralyzed eventually going to be able to walk via a computer chip. So they're coming up with all this sort of stuff in the scientific world. Can y'all please come up with some kind of medicine that keep people from having kids?
You is right. Well, here's the thing. Let's take other than castrating men, if they know what castrating means, cutting off his testicles. But they take the Planned Parenthood, right? The fast food speedway abortion clinic of the world. They are sometimes with these other people. They're all women who feel just like you, Damo, They will go and say, tie my tubes, burn them, do this, and this. I don't want no more kids. You know what they tell them? You are too young by law for us to do that, because you might get remarried or get into another relationship and you still want to have children, and we rather keep you fertile than to tie you up and burn you. Then 2 years later, come back and go back in there and untie you up to unburn you.
Right.
So a lot of them do ask for what you're talking about, but because of some laws, they can't, because they tell them you, by law, you're too young. You might want more kids in the future. So you at least have to be, 40, 45 or something like that before they say, okay, you're 50, you have 3 kids, we'll go ahead, tie, burn, clip, whatever.
And that's crazy, because I think there's dudes out here that, I'm sorry, by your second kid, you are so real far behind on your child support, they should be able to castrate you. And it's too bad. If come 30, 40 years old, you married now and you want to have kids and you done had the surgery because long ago you didn't take care of your kids, tough shit. I'm just sorry, tough shit. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe that will make the generations behind, make them think about it like, well, I don't want to go through that. You know what I'm saying? And so I think if you out here just having kids and after the second one, and it look like you're not gonna slow down, they need to castrate you. They need to cut them what you call it.
Yeah, I agree. And AK, I didn't know my nephew has been on punishment for 2 months. What did he do? That's something you gonna have to text me, hit me up, because I ain't seen LP or Makai in a long time. I don't know what's going on with them. You know what I'm saying? But AK was saying, 2 years or before 25.
I agree, AK.
Yeah. But I mean, some places they just, and then it was a lot of women who was like that too back in the 80s, because I had family members working at Planned Parenthood, right? They was having so many abortions, they told them, if I cut on you one more time, I'm gonna send you to Jesus. Because you can only cut on a woman so many times and have abortions. So they out here cheating on their husbands and their boyfriends, going on abortion number 4 and 5. So it's always gonna be a loophole into whatever you're trying to do. So I don't know what's a good way of trying to stop people from having a bunch of children. And then what about the religious people now? You got religious people that's all they women are for. They find women who are stocky, who have childbearing hips, and it's a sin to not have children. It's a sin to abort. It's a sin to send adoptions. You got just religious type of people having 10 children, and they cool with it, because that's what their religion is. That's what their culture is. That's why India and China is overpopulated, especially India. Even here, those girls at 15 to get married off, so by the time they get 21, they might have 10 kids.
You know what? I think it's, man, I feel like this. And I know people say that we shouldn't have no input on, and I agree, we shouldn't really have no input on somebody else's body. But because since y'all got an input on where our cash is going, we get taxed the hell out, right? I think this need to be, AK, I think you had a great suggestion. Only 2 kids for women. I don't think you should be a female and have 5 kids and then you struggling to take care of them first 2. I think once you go on the system, right? Actually, I'm gonna go even further than that. Mm-hmm. I think the kids that should count is if you had an abortion. I think if you have an abortion, that's 1 kid. If you have the kid, that's your 2 kids. And if you ain't married by that point, then they should do some kind of temporary, they could clip the tubes, can't they? Don't they have something where they could clip them?
Hey, man, they can do whatever you like.
Okay, maybe you can answer this for me.
Yeah.
Do they got it where they get a procedure where they temporarily clip your tubes?
Yeah. This is 2024. They can do whatever you want them to do.
So I think after 2 kids and abortions, and so if you had 2 abortions, then you getting clipped off until you get married. If they won't remove that until you get married. If you ain't married, then you have that at certain age. And I think that people shouldn't just be able to just go out and have abortions, or they shouldn't be able to just go out and keep having more than multiple kids, you know what I'm saying, that they can't take care of. I think that you get a number, and if you're not married to that number, then your number is 2. Same with dudes. Now, dudes is a little harder to keep up with. You know what I'm saying? But I think when it's proven that the dudes that had 2 kids and they're not married, they should come up with something where even it's a fine. Even if you want to fine them, you know what I'm saying? Or you want to give them jail time, you can do that. You have another kid, you're going to do this jail time.
Damo, that's called child support. Fine, child support, go to jail, child support. That's what child support is there for, right? It's to fine you for having too many kids. And if you don't pay the child support, you do 6 months in jail.
But what happens is by the time they catch up to the dude, he done had about 3, 4, 5 more kids. You know what I'm saying?
That's what, I agree. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. You're right about that. So I don't know how to put it, is because you can't get too deep, because then you sound hypocritical, especially me, because I had my kids out of wedlock. So when you're adding the marriage part in, I can't comment on it, because I had my kids, all of them out of wedlock. Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah. and I raised my 3. So I mean, and again, we're talking about culture, religion, just having kids. I don't even know what it says in the Bible about having kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're going to run into a lot of that stuff, trying to implement some of the things that you believe could help society. Because I know what you're talking about. It's a lot of things.
It's going to stop it. It's not going to stop it.
When they was having a lot of abortions back in the 90s, did you know in the early 2000s crime went down? Because of the abortions that was had in the 90s and the early, because there was a lot of kids that didn't come onto this earth who didn't get into crime.
Right. Well, see, you know the crazy part now, and this is why a lot of these laws got to change. Out like 50, 60 years ago, they didn't have the contraceptives and protection on the shelf. Now you can find a whole section with nothing but, morning after pills, all kind of condoms, and all kind of, fabrics and flavors and all kind of stuff now, right? So they got way too many products on the shelf for it to be an excuse. What it is I get it, y'all. Man, we all lazy. We be up there, we be into some stuff or some, you know what I'm saying? Vice versa for the women. And you know what I'm saying? And we just don't want to get up. We just lazy. But at some point, man, the government got to do something. They can't just keep letting people. I know a woman that has a whole bunch of kids. And she was having so many kids that at one point she didn't know who the father was. So she named her son both the men's names because she didn't know who the daddy was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. They got to do something.
AK said that the Bible says be fruitful and multiply. That's what the Bible says, right? So again, even if the government listens to you today and try to implement that, they go stump number 1. Then we talk about Christians under the Bible. It says be fruitful and multiply. So even if the woman don't want to be married, even if she don't want to go by these rules, one of her alienated rights of being a human is to reproduce. So if she wants to have 10 kids and live off the system, she's going to have, this is one of the things that she's going to use to fight for that narrative.
Yeah, and I just think that if you want to be fruitful, man, the reward for that is, they got to incentivize marriage. I'm sorry, I just don't think our culture do enough of that. They don't, they punish you actually for being married. You married, you get punished in our system. I think they need to go ahead and flip that and make it an incentive to be married. Because now, even women who actually get rewarded for being married don't even want to be married no more. Shoot, I was telling somebody, I was like, man, well, if it don't work out, damn, you get half of everything. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even, a lot of females don't even see the incentive in that. And we celebrate gender parties. Let's do this gender reveal and see what sex the baby is. And we celebrate that more than, proposals. That's crazy. Think how crazy that is. More people probably have experienced gender revelation parties than they have wedding proposals.
Right. You're right. And but people don't understand that. And the crazy, because it's always an avenue to go, right? I tell folks, when the president of the United States wake up, he ain't worried about what's going on overseas because he has the CIA to do that. Cancer kills within. Every day the president wakes up, he wants to know what's going on inside of his country. He wants to know who's doing what, who's spending money, and who's trying to revolt and storm the White House. And one of those situations is population control. The government has tried to find ways of having population control without having
they talk about it a lot.
Right, without having the blunt conversation me and you having. Behind closed doors, they're talking like me and you talking live where the whole world can hear. But on TV, they're not going to say what me and you just got through saying. So I believe that people have been listening to you, Damo, and they've been trying, but they ain't going to be as blunt as you are right now.
Yeah, well, But let me just tell y'all this, right? I think inflation and the cost of living is slowing people down too. Because it's just simply getting hard for people to survive out here. And I just think that now people are kind of forced not to have, kids like they used to. Because, man, it seems like the government, can we really trust them? I don't trust the government to have a lot of power in taking care of me. Because if they could give you food stamps, they could take it away. If they could give you housing, they could take it away. That's way too much power for any government to have over you.
Right. So if the government can say how many kids you have, then is that making them godlike? Because there are doctors now that's been trying for the last 10 years to go when the woman has an ultrasound, they have stuff where they can try to predetermine, listen to me now, predetermine if your child is going to have some type of disability. And find out where that genome is coming from that's causing the disability, an extra hand, a missing finger, blind, whatever. And they want to go in there, I guess why it's still a fetus, and replace it or add to make sure your child comes out normal. And they're saying don't do that because you're thinking you're playing God. If the government's trying to do population control, is that not the same thing as playing God?
Well, I can tell you the government playing population control. And here's something I can tell you a proof of it. They're showing you their population control. What are they pushing right now? Think about what it is that they're pushing.
The COVID shot? The booster shot?
You can change gender. So one way to slow down population is you make the boys want to be girls and the girls want to be boys. So they're pushing for them to be able to change their gender. Because once you change your gender, and after a couple years, you can't have kids if you wanted them anyway. So that right there is showing you that the government wants to slow people down from it, not only having kids, but I think if they can delete people, they're going to delete them too.
So do you think that this rainbow and LGBTQ community is being pushed by the government? So these guys, because you really want to target the guys, because the mama houses the child, but I think life starts from the man. If you turn him into a homosexual, if you make him a transgender, if you make him a down low brother, then that's a lot of, and excuse my language, y'all, a lot of semen that's going different places. So is that, you say that's one of the ways that the federal government could be trying to do population control?
It is. Look at what they're pushing on kids. Because see, they're not training us. Guess who they're going after now?
Who is that?
The younger generation.
Oh yeah.
You see these drags in schools reading to them. They're normalizing this behavior for them. And the reason why they're trying to normalize it for them is because they want them to be less motivated to have kids. See, if I get you to where you don't want to have kids, you don't want to be papa, you know what I'm saying? I don't need mama. I can go after the ones that carry the seeds. See, the
That's
people
true.
that carry the seeds, if I could change their mind, I can slow down population.
But what
I
about
don't care
women?
about your mental state. I don't
What
care.
about women that are lesbians?
Well, they
I
don't
forgot
carry
to add
seeds.
that part in, right?
They don't carry the seed. So guess what? They're not worried about them. This is
But
not
here's the
about
thing,
the
though.
lady.
I know I have a friend, a really good friend, who's dating a woman, and she ended up just having a baby. So even lesbians will find ways to become moms.
Yeah. They use dudes for that. A
Yeah,
lot of them do. But you know what I always tell dudes to do? Men, y'all crazy out here. Just like they got them surrogate mothers. If
right.
I was y'all, what I would do is y'all silly. Y'all give y'all seed away for free. And actually, y'all pay. Y'all give y'all seed away and then have to pay somebody that you done gave it away to.
Yep.
And you don't get any benefit of having that kid. Y'all silly. Man,
Yep.
it was a reason why I didn't have sons. Because I'm going to tell you, I would have told my son, look, if you don't see marriage in your future, here's what I advise you to do. Sell your seed. Boy, sell your seed, man. If you sell it, you can write and contract. It's just like if you go to a sperm bank.
Yep.
You don't have any financial obligations
Correct.
once you go to a sperm bank.
Right.
So if it was me, I would go and sell my seed. So if I got different genes about me, like I got great hair and I got a nice eye color and I got certain kind of skin, and I know there's females that want their kids to have that,
Right.
I would sell my semen for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. You know what I'm saying? Now I know females will be like, well, that's bizarre, that's crazy. No, it ain't. Females do it all the time. They carry babies for women all the time. So I tell men, sell your semen. Don't give it away. And if you get married, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't give it away to a female, and then I'm here, I'm not even with this female. I don't even have access to these kids. And she's I'm financially obligated to take care of these kids that I'll never see anyway. And this woman with a whole other man, you know what I'm saying? What
Right.
benefit is in it for me? So if it was me, I'm selling my shit. Thank God I'm old now, because I'm telling you, if I had this mind back then, I probably would have never been married. I've been selling my stuff, man, like now and later. Do you know how we used to go to the candy store?
Right.
That little candy, sell that candy. I'd be like, look, got this nut.
Well, two
Right.
things. One, where is the condom industry? How are condoms even making any money? Where is the condom industry?
They can't even give them
two,
away.
And two, you know what? I forgot all about sperm banks until you just said something. So there is an industry where women want a marble. I'm
Man,
gonna
get
say
out
a
here
marble.
with that.
They want a marble. They want a Homelander, right? So they go into a sperm bank and say, well, I want my child to do this. I want him to fly, to shoot shit out of his eyes. I want him to run, be the fastest man.
Could you imagine how much LeBron James will go for? Think about LeBron James nut. You think how much?
Yeah.
Man, you know what women would pay for that nut?
That's what I'm saying. And the doctor will go down the list of men who's donated. And that's like God, like almost too.
Man, I'm a smart Mickey. Man, they don't let me be a leader of men. I changed the whole game up, player. I changed the whole game up. I be like, quit giving these chicks. If you want to go ahead and you want to have sex with them, put on 2 condoms. You know what I'm saying? So you can feel something, but double up. I was like, you don't get that seed away unless it come in a vial. You go ahead and you put it in the vial, and we need a man to come up with some scientific where we can donate our nuts somewhere, put our name on it, and then we go and sell it. We sell everything else.
It's
Sell that.
absolutely true. Like, give them
Let me tell you why this is bizarre, and a lot of females be like, hush, I don't want him to keep talking. I'm going to tell you why they don't want me to keep talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of females' purpose in life is what? Motherhood.
Right.
Motherhood. So if you made it to where they had to pay for that, either, okay, we could go back to getting married, or I'm just gonna go ahead and hold my nut. And then if you want to go ahead and you want to be, you know what I'm saying, out here for the rest of your life, living your life, fine. But if you're gonna have a kid, you're gonna have a kid, you're gonna pay for this nut. It ain't gonna be no, you know what I'm saying? Because most men, if y'all don't marry the women, a lot of y'all don't get to enjoy the kids anyway. Think about it. Somebody else, the next man, get to enjoy your kids more than you do.
That is absolutely true. And so I think some of the stuff you're saying is probably why the sperm bank was kind of created. I don't know how long sperm banks have been around, but I forgot all about that. Yeah, if you can donate blood and sell your blood and plasma, I guess there's nothing wrong with donating your semen, especially if you are a former athlete who's been injured, you out of the league. So imagine that. If I play football all my life in the NFL, 10 years, I get injured, I'm out of the league. If I need a way to make more money, they probably would come after somebody who, like you said, a LeBron James or Steph Curry, who wants that genetic DNA.
There's some chicks that'll pay for me and yours.
Yeah,
I ain't lying. I mean, you fellas out there, y'all selling drugs. Y'all selling the wrong thing. Y'all need to be selling nuts.
But
you know what I'm saying? Get drugs away from
God. The God thing again, right? Not all women can have kids. So even if I sell you my sperm for $50,000 and that doctor puts it up in you, or he puts it in an embryo and then just uses you as the housing, if your body rejects that, you're out of $50,000.
No, here's what I think should happen. I think you shouldn't be able to get the money until it's proven that after she had the kid.
Okay.
So once they find out that she's pregnant, then they can release the funds.
Okay. I don't even let you carry the baby for the first trimester, right? Then you can pay me. Then you can pay me the fee.
But the money gotta be there. You gotta have the money, and the money has to be there. It can't be no. But if they did it like that, but I'm telling you guys, sell y'all nut. Y'all giving it away for free, and the next man getting to enjoy y'all kid. I'm standing on that. I might run for president when I come of age.
And then, you know, okay, so you have the baby, you pay me the $50,000, and then when the baby's born, that child come out with some type of disease and dies, or it gets killed in a car at 10 years old. I mean, God has made it where you cannot predict life.
But it's like a car.
Death.
But it's like a car, Sky. Yeah. If me and you go in and get a car, we can spend $50,000 on that car, right?
That's right.
We are tied into that car. If the engine fall out the day, guess what? We still on the hook financially for that car. But they're not. But female man, $50,000 crazy. But I'm telling you, if 90% of men was like, I'm selling my seed, either I'm going to have my kid with my wife, or I'm selling my seed. I guarantee you, females, because a lot of them, their purpose is, you know, what do we always see on media? They always say, what? If it wasn't for my kids is the reason why I still keep going. Well, they going to be the reason you going to keep going. You're going to have to pay for this to keep going hell. And they the ones that give you your business, you got to pay for purpose. Hell, this nut going to cost.
I can see that. And you know what? There's a lot of people, I don't know the stats, but there's a lot of people that donate sperm. But the industry must not be as huge as it used to, because I forgot all about it till you just said something. I forgot all about sperm banks. Like literally, I have literally forgot about that.
There you go. Have a contract with this nut. There you go. You got it, sister. Hell yeah. Have that contract.
I'm gonna have to research that and see where is the nearest sperm bank. You just have to research to see where that's at. And you know, and then you gonna go in there with that dirty magazine.
Ask one of my white tea brothers. I know they know. Hell, go in there with that magazine. Hell,
yeah, go in there with that magazine and fill that little cup up, and then they'll freeze you.
I don't even know.
And then you
gotta figure out how they even hit the cup.
Because how much are you willing to give away, Damo? Are you gonna go in there once a month for 10 years, or like how are you gonna do it?
I'm selling per vial, so AK, you right. 50,000 might be a bit much, but I think if I could get away with 5,000. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, because I ain't obligated. The kid ain't mine after it go inside her anyway. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, especially if I ain't going to marry the chick, if you're not going to marry the chick, the chances of y'all staying together is slim to none. I'm just gonna tell y'all folks, it's slim to none. So if you gonna go ahead and you just gonna be all willy-nilly with it, you might as well just sell it. Sell it. Don't man give it to her for free. Don't because it feel good, you just gonna sell that stuff, man. You know?
So once you freeze it and it sits on the shelf, do they automatically try to match you with a woman, or your shit just sits there until a woman comes and say, "Hey, I want file number 10." You know what I'm saying?
We gotta find somebody that work in one of these clinics. Bring somebody in. This is a great show.
I would love to see this. They need to do a reality TV show about everything else. Can we get a reality TV show about sperm banks, please? I would love to see, outside of them donating the sperm, I don't care to see that shit. But the industry part of it, the other side of it. The woman comes in, she fills out the little application, and I mean, I tell you what, that's crazy.
She said, not how would you feel if you get married? I think if you get married, then you can go ahead and get a woman your seat, right? If you done already had about 20 kids before her, then I'm quite sure that's something you got to discuss with her. Like, hey, baby, I got about 20 kids out here.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? But, it is what it is. You ain't really went in them. You got paid for it. Hell, some of them real gigolos that ain't getting nothing out of it.
That's real talk. I won't say that. Because that was a TV show that came out with your boy, Vince Vaughn. He had a movie, right? Where he had fathered the whole town. He had like
hell yeah. Some of them doing it anyway.
Huh?
Think about this, guy. Some of these dudes they fathering the whole city anyway. The only thing is now they gotta pay for fathering the whole city. Why not have people pay you for fathering the city? It's two different things. If I got 6 kids out here and I charge $15,000 for my seat, that's about $90,000 that I receive from having kids, rather than me paying it out in child support. There's people with 6 kids that owe that in child support. So would you rather pay $90,000 out to give a woman your seed that you don't even have access to, or would you rather charge the women to have your seed and then you don't have any financial obligations to?
I see what you're saying, and me being a businessman, I'm with you. I would rather charge.
I won't get paid.
But then there's just some people who's not like me. They have a heart of gold, and they're not going to have 6 kids out here and not be in their lives. And just not be in their lives. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's always a loophole in a lot of that stuff.
What I mean by that is, it's like it's almost like we're buying a car and we gotta ask somebody to drive the car. We gotta ask them when we can drive the car. Could you imagine that? You go and you get a car, but you gotta ask this person over here, can you take the car for the weekend?
Right. Well, that's at the beginning we'll do it. They'll take the money, father the child, and be okay. But then when the money runs out and they sitting there and they're thinking about it in depression in the bar, talking about, I got a child out there I can't see, and da. Well, you signed up for it. Now all of a sudden, 10 years later, your son is 10. You just spent that $15,000, and now all of a sudden you want to be in the child's life. See, that's the type of stuff with humans that scare me. Because a dog's gonna be a dog, a snake's gonna be a snake, and a cat's gonna be a cat. But human beings, that's the scary part. That free will that God gave human beings is what makes them scary.
I think it should be a medium part where you don't even know the mother, where your sperm born, and vice versa. I think it should be between two. Maybe it's a profile. Maybe she knows, but maybe you don't know. Right. I don't want to know. Give me my money. You know what I'm saying?
But again, there's some people like you too that, hey, just give me the money. We good. This is a business transaction. This is a business. You know what I'm saying?
They shouldn't even have to be able to find me. You know what I'm saying? It should have my picture. It should have certain qualities, but it shouldn't have a name. It shouldn't have my social security number and address. It should just be a file where maybe the doctor or whoever they know, or the clinic, they know, but the person who looking at the profile, all they see is a quick profile picture. And they should be able to go in a room where they can't get no phones. They can't take no phones or nothing where they can take a picture of me or anything. They just see the profile. They see my height, hair color, eye color, my heritage, potential family, history. Like maybe I got, high cholesterol in my family, high blood pressure, something like that. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing about that. Then that's on your end. So we're gonna play devil advocate, and we're gonna be on Damon's end. The girl that gave you the money. They don't know nothing about you. They can never find you. It's a business transaction between you and the woman. That's an adult. But now I'm telling you, God has a way. Then let's talk about the child, because the child didn't sign nothing. Right?
Right.
So the child gets 18 and they don't want to be called a test tube baby. They want to know who the father is. Or if the child gets in some type of accident and needs your blood because you're the only person that has that blood type to save that child.
Then I think that they got medical records. They can track, right. Where I'm at.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the kid, if they need that from me, then a third party should be able to come and get that from me. Right?
Gotcha.
I don't think the kid should in any way be able to get a file of mine to know where I'm at, how to find me, or anything like that. I think in the contract, it should say that, actually they can change my whole identity. They can lie. Man, a lot of these women lie about who the daddy is anyway. Lie about me.
Change your identity. And you're right, AK. Again, some kids are going to want to know explanation on what is going on, because in a perfect world, that child will grow up, her adopted parents will die, and she or he will never know. But this ain't a perfect world. Something will go wrong where the guardians is going to have to tell their child what actually happened. Like, did you ever watch The Boys? You watched that on Prime, The Boys? Where they was injecting with this serum called Gen V, and they thought superheroes were being born, but they was actually being manufactured in a lab. Then they're gonna have to tell them, hey, you was manufactured. This is what happened. And so then the child, depending on the child, well, I want to know, I want to see, I don't care. Or something happens where nobody else has the type of blood type or bone marrow or whatever that you has as the father that this child needs.
But check this out, AK. So what if I'm dealing with somebody who ended up having a mental illness? So say I go and I donate my sperm, okay? Right. I don't want to be found. We did our transaction, business is over. This person have a hard life and they come back and then they blame me, right? Now here it is, I'm then lived my life, I done did my business transaction, it's over with. This person come back and they come after me, right? So it's never going to be fair. I'm not saying it's fair, you know what I'm saying? But I think that they have to have it in some capacity where the man is protected. See, that's, I think, the problem with society now. They don't protect men at all. They protect women, but men in any cases, even now, child support to anything, even in marriage, right?
Right.
Like, I'm married. So my old lady could go and cheat on me, get a divorce, take half of everything, go ahead and move her life on with another man, and then the other man have access to the kids more than I have.
Right.
Here, I done spent years tucking them in, investing my time in, and it can be taken away like that. And people will be like, well, that's not fair, but there's nothing really fair about the system anyway.
That's right.
Everything is, even the kids aren't protected. I always say this. I think that they need to have mandatory paternity tests, not just for the father to know who their, that is their child, but for the child to know. The child should be able to know, that's my daddy. That's something he should be proud of, absolutely knowing, and not guessing. Because they say mama's babies, papa's maybe, but it's also the kids maybe too, because they don't know. So they don't even protect the kids. They do everything for the women and not get it. The reason why they're doing this, all this stuff is happening, is they're trying to break down society. They've been trying to break down society. So till you look at it to where it's at right now. Society right now, they don't, the men don't want to be men no more. The women don't want to be women no more. And then you just have chaos. So you're right. I'm not saying that I am fair. I'm saying that none of this is fair. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
and then at the end of the day, you was like, women want to be protected, even when they don't want to be protected. Feminists, they want to be men or better than men or equal to men. And I'm thinking there are laws to protect y'all, but y'all don't want to be protected because you want to be a man. I wish all feminists would have listened to our last show about men's health, what it takes to be a man. Everybody always talk about what it takes to be a woman in this world. Well, do you know what it takes to be a man in this world? So when you grow up and you want to be a feminist, you want to be a man and equal, this is what we're trying to tell y'all. Y'all have stuff to protect y'all, but then you like, I don't want the umbrella, let the rain hit me in the head. Stuff like that.
And it's like this. Even for, let me just tell you like this, AK. Say you got deadbeat fathers out here. There's some terrible dads out here, right? But when them men don't step in, you know who have replaced them men? You know why things can be like the way it is? The government have replaced men. So when the men don't come and take care of the kids, guess who comes in and take care of the kids? The government. They provide housing, food. They even provide programs where women can, get a discount in child care, take their kids to child care, go to school, and get a degree. For men, say if the woman don't, and the stepdaddy too, say if the woman don't want the kid, she can dump that kid off anywhere, and nobody asks any questions. If the man want the kid and the mom don't want the kid, the mom can say, well, I'm going ahead and I'm going to get an abortion. And no matter how much the dad love that kid, the dad got to go ahead and do what the mother say, because they say it's her body. But then if she decides to have the kid and the father isn't financially ready, they don't care about that. They're going to go ahead and get them anyway. It's like giving a person who don't have a job credit card. It's not going to get better for them. So, women go through things. I would never tell y'all that men don't put women through things. They do. Men do. A lot of men are absent. They don't step in like they're supposed to. But the reason why women are having kids out of wedlock is because they know that the government going to do something. Do you think women would have kids out of wedlock if they knew the government said there's going to be no more programs? If they took away all programs, you think females would just be having kids like they do? Hell no. There was a reason why before programs came along, women wasn't having kids. I mean, they were, but not out of wedlock at the number that they're now.
Correct.
There's women out here that they celebrate child support. They like, man, as soon as the dude get another girlfriend, well, I'm gonna get him for child support. He ain't gonna be with no other woman and not taking care of kids. He ain't gonna be with me. And they go after him. I just seen a video yesterday about that.
But then with the AK, she's saying that she had to pay child support too over here, and so we're in a situation to where if somebody was taking care of one of her children and she had to pay child support, then is the system fair? Is it equal now when they're going after the women to pay child support just as much as the men?
Well, I had a homeboy that he's a single dad.
Right.
His baby mom, every time that they caught her, she would quit the job and leave. And it would take them a couple more months to find her. And every time she got a job, she'd leave, and she kept doing it over and over and over. And he had to go through that. And unfortunately, that's what happens. But I think that they need to be harsher on them people. The ones that's not paying child support, like I said, I think they need to go ahead and after you have a kid or two, man, it's tough. It's not fair because maybe they want some kids a lot later down the line. But if you have 2 kids or a certain amount of kids and you're not taking care of them, snip, snip. That's the price you pay. And if you don't like it, man, I guess you better marry. You better go ahead and, It's not fair. There's nothing. I don't think that there's anything you can ever come up with that can be completely fair.
Right.
Because
100%, right.
in one situation, it's going to be one way.
Right.
In another situation, it's going to be totally different. But I think they need to at least make it as equal as possible.
Right.
So I don't think it's fair that if you had to pay and then they didn't make this dude pay. But I think if he didn't pay, then they need to keep going after him for the rest of his life. Make his life a living hell. And then, yes, you should be able to get that money. Now, It's different than in the case what Sky was talking about earlier, where this woman waited 18 years to then find out that, hey, oh, yeah, this your kid. And he didn't know. That's messed up. But in your scenario, AK, I think that they need to go ahead and, yes, he need to pay. I don't care if your kid is 25 and grown now. You had to do your half. He need to have to do his half. And that's what it is.
But this is the thing on why you are promoting marriage, because if you're married first, then having kids, that would never happen to you 18 years later, you finding out. Because Mike Bless, and then these are just skits from Country Wayne. Mike Bless was a player back in the day. So this is his second child that's over 18 that he find out that he had. You see what I'm saying? So he could have more kids out here, you know what I'm saying, and not know, because when you 18 years old and you spreading your seed around and not selling it, then when you turn 45 and hear all these kids coming talking about you, my dad, and then you kind of put yourself out there.
Yep. But hey, Sky, man, AK, I want to give you a shout out, man. I want to send you a whole lot of love.
Thank you for being our third host, AK.
Yeah, you have been absolutely awesome. I hope we do this every Tuesday. This is the longest show, man. If I didn't have to go get my daughter, we'd probably go.
It's
we right. Went 2 hours, Sky.
I don't want your daughter mad at me because you late picking her up.
Man, this was so much fun, man.
Yeah.
AK, shouts out to you. What was the other young lady that was here?
Natalie.
Shouts out to you too, Natalie, man. We appreciate you.
Yep. Oh, and Tony White. Shouts out to you, bro. Love you, brother. And have a great time.
Much love, Tony.
Yeah, Tony. Yeah, shouts out to him, man. So yeah, again, all I can tell you in this society, man, if you got the money to take care of them, I ain't mad at you. But if you are having a bunch of kids and other people's taxpayers' dollars got to take care of your children, that's the issue that I'm on right there.
You got it, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? The best thing, man, and I could speak for Sky, Angela, and myself, we all tell y'all, it's just best to wait. Angela, I totally agree with that. You know what I'm saying? It's just best to wait. And then, sometimes, man, we be living life faster than we need to. But it's best to just wait, man, because in the end, it all works out. So I just want to say, God bless you all. Man, live every day like it's your last, because the only thing guaranteed in life is death. So don't worry about small stuff, okay? Live your dream, you know what I'm saying? And pour into yourself, love other people also. Sky, do you want to leave them with anything?
Hey, again, thank y'all every Tuesday. I enjoy doing this. Man, I hope God blesses everybody and have a positive 2024. And we'll be back next Tuesday to have this same conversation. And everybody who's watched us or who's commented, tell other people, come join. Tuesday from noon to it's supposed to be 1, but hey, we went out,
brother. Shout out to everybody on video too, man.
Because I know now, AK, since you joined the conversation, your day is gonna be so much better now because you was able to sit and have a conversation with us. And I've noticed that on Tuesdays after having this conversation, I have such a great day.
Man.
Nemo,
have a great rest of the week. Hey, AK, I know you're part of Sky's network. If you come up with any topics you want us to talk about, man, inbox Sky. We would love, man, if you guys, any of you guys, if there's something you guys would love for us to talk about and have a conversation about, inbox us, man. Let us know. We would love to go ahead and we'll shout you out too.
Oh yeah. Let us know.
Man, peace, love, y'all, man.
Did you have any birthdays to shout out today or no?
Man, I ran out of time.
Gotcha.
I ran out of time. But I'll get them tomorrow night. I'll get them tomorrow night, man, when Kobe on here. Make sure y'all tune in tonight to Sky. Sky, I will be tuned in tonight. I'm gonna be on my Bigo Live. I don't know if I'm gonna do it on my Facebook. I'm gonna do it on my Bigo because I got the potential to make money on it. So I'm trying to make money on it, and I got to spend a lot of time on my Bigo account. So
Gotcha.
Y'all tune in.
See y'all later.
Peace.